It is my pleasure to welcome you to the Millennium Stage at the Kennedy Center and to the next installment of the Domingo Cafritz Young Artist Program's recital series, which gives the incredibly talented young singers and pianists of Washington National Opera the opportunity to hone their language, storytelling, and performance skills without any of the usual help they get from sets and costumes and props. Song repertoire contains innumerable treasures, exploring every facet of what it means to be human, and what could be more human than love. 2 weeks shy of Valentine's Day as we are, that's the only reminder you're going to get, guys, we've delved into this most universal subject through that rich vein of German song, or Lieder, looking at the different types of love that we all experience. To give you our own kleinen Liebesliederabend, a little evening of love songs. And where else to start but with the king of song himself, Franz Schubert. One of the greatest composers ever to live, Franz Schubert's fame rests chiefly on his over 600 songs, all written by the time of his death in 1888 at the age of just 31. His greatest songs never lose their magic, but sometimes, just when you think you've fully gotten to know Schubert, a new song will surprise and amaze you with an aspect of his genius which makes you reevaluate and redouble your admiration. We tend to think of Schubert's songs as small-scale, intimate miniatures, but here we've chosen 3 of his grandest utterances, all showing a boundless love for his creator and for nature. These are no parlor pieces designed for the skilled amateur, but they require a truly operatic voice of real scale and range to do them justice in their majesty and sweep. In 1825, Schubert took a vacation away from the gentle countryside of Vienna to the spectacular scenery of Upper Austria, where even then those hills were apparently alive with the sound of music. The trip had a profound effect on him. Having just recovered from a long illness, he felt strong and confident and full of gratitude for the boundless creative furnace he felt constantly overflowing inside him. And he pours this grandiloquence into Die Allmacht, the Almighty, a hymn of praise and love to the majesty of creation. Our next song, Im Abendrot, at dusk, is another hymn of praise he wrote around the same time as Die Allmacht, and is perhaps the greatest of all sunset songs. That feeling of being totally at peace and free of all earthly cares which a perfect sunset can bring, is fully realized here in a song full of devotion, self-assurance, and calm. And we close this set with Auflösung, a mighty song whose accompaniment bubbles up from the depths and sometimes plummets back down into the abyss, marrying the world of Wagner and the classical rigor of Gluck, anticipating the opening of Das Rheingold, yet remaining deeply private in sentiment. This is a song about the dangers of creative power, hinting at the specter of depression which constantly hung over its authors, Schubert and Meyerhofer. The refrain, Geh Unterwelt, is ever present, and the song's energy ultimately disappears into oblivion, like the title, Dissolving. To perform these 3 great Schubert songs, please welcome Soprano Alexandria Shiner and pianist Christopher Koelzer.
Ich will im
We turn now to that great romantic, Robert Schumann. In 1840, he published a set of 26 songs called Myrten, which he presented to his wife Clara on the occasion of their wedding. Myrten, or myrtles, are rosy white flowers often used to make bridal wreaths, and so this cycle was intended as a bouquet of songs for his new bride. Aus den östlichen Rosen is the penultimate song of the cycle and one of the finest in the set, written apparently when Robert was sitting at home, anxiously awaiting his coming union with his beloved Clara. Dein Angesicht, your visage, is one of his greatest songs, originally intended for the cycle Dichterliebe, but later cut for dramatic reasons. It is a morbid description of a lover's face and a showpiece of that sweet sorrow, that ability to conjure beauty through tears, which Schumann mastered so perfectly. We will close this set with another wedding present, this one written by Richard Strauss and presented to his wife Pauline de Ahne when they were married in 1894. A heimliche Aufforderung is a secret invitation or a secret request. If you picture a boisterous feast, a dinner party at a country house with many guests, and the excitement of secretly inviting a lover to meet you out in the garden, away from the throng, out among the rose bushes, where at last you can both escape and fall into each other's arms under the cover of long-awaited night. To perform Aus den östlichen Rosen, Dein Angesicht, and Heimliche Aufforderung, please welcome back pianist Christopher Koelzer and tenor Alexander McKissick. Beautiful. We close our kleinen Liebesliederabend, very fittingly, with the first set of Liebeslieder Walzer by Johannes Brahms. These are such a joy to perform and to hear. 18 miniature gems for 4 voices and 4-hand piano, all set in the then fashionable style of Ländler, probably a homage by Brahms to his idol Schubert's set of 20 Ländler, and also possibly a nod to the waltz king himself, Johannes Strauss. Ländler are Austrian 3/4 folk dancers, originally containing much yodeling and hopping and stomping and hobnailed boots, but eventually becoming a little more refined as they are here. It is thought that this first set of waltzes, originally performed in 1870, was also inspired by the great pianist Clara Schumann. Although married to Robert Schumann, Brahms showed great affection towards her throughout their acquaintance, unrequited though it was. These are settings of Georg Friedrich Daumer's poems from 1855 entitled Polydora, which explore the many facets of love: longing, reluctance, denial, sadness, obsession, joy. There's a wonderful interplay between the two genders throughout, with duets from both and two very moving solo numbers, one for mezzo, one for tenor. They ooze charm, they're peppered with humor, and they're a sheer delight to perform. Whether lilting on the Danube, railing at gossiping neighbors, or sighing in rapture, they have been popular from their premiere, and their success was responsible for much of Brahms's personal wealth during his lifetime. Before we close with these lovely waltzes, I invite you to join the DCYAP again at 2 p.m. this Sunday at the Smithsonian's exquisite Renwick Gallery. This will be the program's 15th annual scenes program in this venue, right next to the White House. And after all this German leader, we return to some of opera's most powerful ensembles with music by Mozart, Rossini, Verdi, and Samuel Barber. The concert is free and open to the public, features all the members of the Domingo Cafritz Young Artist Program, is fully staged, directed and narrated by our resident dramatic coach, Nick Olcott, and will last about an hour. A perfect opportunity to enjoy lunch downtown, hear some beautiful music, and stroll along the Mall. More details can be found on the Renwick's and the DCYIP's website under the program's Upcoming Performances tab. And now, to perform the first set of the Opus 52 Liebeslieder Walzer by Johannes Brahms, please welcome back Soprano Alexandria Shiner, mezzo-soprano Eliza Bonet, tenor Alexander McKissick, baritone Michael Hewitt, pianist Christopher Koelzer, and me.
Das mir in die Brust die Kehle hat geschleudert mit dem Blicke dieser wilden Blutefehle. Willst du nicht dein Herz erweichen, willst du eine Liebe fromme rasten ohne Reise vorne, oder willst du, dass ich komme ohne Tat auf Weg so bitte will ich wissen, komme nur du schwarzes Auge. Willst du, dass ich komme? Willst du, dass ich komme? Willst du, dass ich komme? Steine rauscht die Flaute, Steine rauscht die wirft dich an die Steine rauscht die Flaute, Steine rauscht die wirft dich Wer nicht zu seufzen weiß, wer nicht zu seufzen weiß, mögt es unten leben, wer nicht zu seufzen weiß. Frauen steht ein Haus, da schaut ein rosiges Mädchen
Thank you for joining us at the Millennium Stage. As we prepare for another performance, we ask that you help us by heading towards the back of the seating area so we can safely put away our chairs. If you would like to meet with the artists, they will be meeting guests at the back of the house. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your evening at the Kennedy Center.